Hey folks, I gotta warn you about this video. It is probably gonna scare you. If you fall into any of these categories that I'm gonna mention here, based on the information that I have to share with you, you're probably gonna feel some form of fear, some amount of panic, some anxiety. Just a forewarning. So if that is not what you're interested in, by all means, please watch another video. And if you would just not give it a thumbs down. I'm only sharing with you information that has been shared with me that you may have actually already seen already. Personally, emails you've received, letters in the mail you may have received specifically from the utility companies that you have your water, your power, your electricity, your sewer, multiple different, gas, whatever it is. You may have already gotten this information, but for some folks, they're not capable of handling what's going on. They're not mentally strong and stable enough to accept this information, process this information, and either acknowledge what's going on and carry on, or do what they need to do to put plans in motion 100% financially, to be ready, to brace themselves, to be prepared for this pain. This is the same pain that the federal chair, Jerome Powell, has warned us about previously, and that we are seeing taking hold faster and more aggressively. It's almost like a cancer, and it is seriously just destroying the life of this economy and the lower income earners, the middle class, working class, poor, those barely earning enough as it is to get by, living paycheck to paycheck, possibly being one paycheck away from being homeless. Typical audience of stimulus channel updates, Blind to Billionaire, Clear Value Tax was doing it for a little bit. It's Jimmy, Adam Snyder. The list goes on and on and on. Folks out there looking for assistance, looking for a check, looking for the government to step in and help. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they're not coming to help. They're actually going to make it worse in the meantime as they work towards trying to repair this massive problem that we have. Now, let me give you a little bit more information on that and explain what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to preface this and warn you guys about what was coming. Now, first, I want to talk to you about an email that I received. Now, this is a boots on the ground intel share that I really do appreciate. You guys watched my video yesterday. I appreciate you guys so much. You don't even understand. Not for the fact that, I love getting emails, because I get so many emails. It's ridiculous if you saw my inbox. Which you may have actually seen how many unread emails I have in my inbox on previous videos where I show screen shares. And for those of you interested in learning how I do the screen shares and want to know more about how you can quickly and easily edit your videos for YouTube, links in the description. But I appreciate it because there's so much valuable information, pretty much reaffirming a lot of the things that I've been talking about with you guys for several months, that is now being shared more readily available. It's widespread. The companies, the businesses, the people, the corporations, the creditors, the banks, the lenders, everybody is now starting to do the things that I was pretty much expecting them to do. And that a lot of folks were telling me at the time at which I was sharing this information that I was crazy. This is the same time when it was all about buy as much food as possible. Get all the food you can everything, stockpile, and bulk buy and do all this. Look, I'm not telling you not to, but I am going to remind you guys that I told you that the most likely scenario to occur would be the fact that a food shortage would exist. A food shortage would rear its ugly head, not for the fact that the food's not available, but for the fact that the demand is going to increase and the supply is going to be reduced. And that's going to cause massive price hikes on top of record high inflation. Meanwhile, people's income, their job, it's all at risk. Your disposable income, non-existent. Your discretionary income is going to be drastically reduced. And your need to pay for necessities is going to basically put you in a position of choice. And it's going to put you in a position of, do I buy food? Do I pay rent? Do I buy food? Do I pay my utility bills? Well, here's the kicker with this one. They're about to not give you a choice, okay? So, this is from Boots on the Ground Intel provider, Kim. Good morning. Just wanted to pass this along. And this is just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is going to be helpful to you guys out there watching, all the loyal subscribers of the channel. I think this is going to be very beneficial for you. So stay tuned. A close friend received this a few days ago with her natural gas bill. Don't mean to get sidetracked here. Check out the video I posted yesterday about JEA Electric in Jacksonville, Florida, shutting off people's power come Monday, come tomorrow. This is not a joke. This is real life. This is going on. This is what is to be expected. So a friend received this a few days ago with her natural gas bill. Her monthly budget amount will double starting next month. Essentially, she will now be paying for her natural gas in anticipation of rate increases. And this anticipation of rate increases is going to happen. Like, the costs are going to continue to go up. As rates continue to climb, as global conflict continues to proceed, as economic turmoil exists all around the world, and you add on top of that the U.S. government not trying to help us, but trying to help everybody else, it honestly makes it worse for us in the meantime. But anyway, this is what it says. I'm gonna throw it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Attention budget plan gas customers. Rising natural gas costs impact budget plan amounts. Your budget plan payments could change due to rising gas costs. Recent inflation has caused many prices to rise, including the natural gas we buy for you. While we pass along the cost of natural gas to you without any markup, higher gas costs could mean an increase in your monthly budget plan bill. By raising your monthly payment now, we hope to avoid you receiving a large bill at the end of your budget plan cycle. Budget plan bills are based on how much energy you use, the cost to get the gas to your home. We know inflation is cutting into your budget, and we want to do what we can to help. If you have trouble paying your bill, click the link below for programs that can help. And then you'll see down there's a link at the bottom right that says assistance or view assistance options. And I'm not exactly sure of the company, but this is more than just a warning, folks. Now, let me talk to you guys about something else. The folks out there emailing me about business information, passive income, side hustles, growing YouTube channels, and personal, private, one-on-one phone calls and virtual meetings. Thank you guys so much for the emails, and I am going to continue to respond to them as quickly as possible. Now, also, if you're interested in a private chat, phone calls, meetings, virtual meetings, just comment below and let me know so I can begin to prioritize those requests. There are a lot of folks out there looking for valuable insights and one-on-ones that I can provide, and I have done for many years with so many in various industries outside of YouTube. And YouTube is just really kind of something I really enjoy and I really like. But YouTube and YouTube's algorithm, I'm gonna tell you this right now, is like business. It's like a business. And if you understand business, then you are slightly ahead of the game when it comes to YouTube. But we can go down that rabbit hole a whole lot deeper. So just comment below and shoot me an email. And with that being said, I received an email, and I received so many emails similar to this, and I'm going to read to you what the email said. Good morning, Kevin. My name is such and such. I'm not going to share it, but I saw your YouTube video and I'm interested in learning more about scaling up my business. And that was it. Come on, folks. Look, number one, who are you? What is your business? What is the current situation? What are your goals? What are your obstacles? Where are you trying to get? This is what I'm going to explain to you as an elevator pitch, an elevator speech. If you're on an elevator and you got the time between the ground floor and whatever floor you're going to, assuming it's less than 30 seconds, you've got 30 seconds with me in an elevator for me to be interested and able to help you accomplish your goals. And you just say, hey, I need help. Help with what? Come on. I need more information. Please. I'm not trying to, poke fun. I'm not trying to, call anybody out or anything like that. I'm trying to help you guys understand, especially in business, you have to communicate. You have to speak up. You have to have a signature. You have to build your brand. You have to market yourself. You have to share as much information as possible all the time. You do. So with that being said, I am willing to help. I want to help. I want to see you all succeed, but I need more information. So you got to understand, if I'm getting hundreds of emails a day and yours comes through and it says, I just need help. Meanwhile, there's other emails before and after yours that are giving much more information that will allow me to ascertain the situation and provide some form of actual feedback and perhaps some actionable steps towards some progress. I'm going to do that versus, okay, reply, what do you need help with? What are you doing? I shouldn't have to do that. So I'm just putting it out there. Now, I want to get back to this gas bill for you guys. Because this is very important. And this is what I was talking to you about months ago about the money. I made a video, you guys may recall, and I told you that there were some folks out there that, sorry, I'm checking my watch because we got to go to lunch, but there was some folks out there that were not worried about what was going on in the world. They were not worried about possible food shortages. They were not worried about inflation. They were not worried about the price of gas. They were not worried about interest rates, mortgage rates, housing market, gas prices, diesel. They weren't worried about any of that because they were in positions of wealth and personal financial stability. Their balance sheets were in order. They owned businesses. They were investors. They weren't the 1%, but they were high income earners. And they were going to continue to be high income earners through multiple diverse platforms of income and active and passive income streams, businesses they own and other investments that were going to insulate them from what's going on. The food's not going to become non-available. Yes, there will be some foods in certain areas, in certain situations that won't be, but in general, we're probably not going to starve to death. But the people who are most at risk of food insecurities and starvation are the ones who don't have enough money to pay for the high price that we are going to see continuously going up. And I don't care what economist or what analyst or what strategist or what anybody tells you, the future for the next 12 to 24 months is going to be more expensive than it was today, or yesterday, or last week. Maybe there's a little bit of a lull. Maybe there's a little bit of a reprieve for a week or a month or so. But if you look at the graph from, for a 12-month period, it's going to continue to climb, okay? And if your income is not going with it, you are going to be at risk. You're going to be in a disadvantage. Now, here's the big problem with this gas bill warning. And it's not just the gas companies, it's all of them. If you folks have ever opted in for this budget planning, what it does is it takes your previous cycles of utility costs and basically comes up with a set figure so that you pay the same amount every month. So you don't have these ups and downs in your utility costs, so you can plan your budget accordingly month to month a whole lot easier. So they will look and say, hey, on average, your utility cost was $100 in, let's just say it was $100. Let's say it was $50 in the winter, and it's, or let's just say it's gas. So it's $50 in the summer, it's $100 in the winter. So they're figuring, you have $50 for 6 months, you got $100 for 6 months. So we're going to meet in the middle, and we're just going to charge you $75 every month, no matter what. There you go. All right, easy. Got it. Well, now these companies are realizing, 1, their costs are going up. 2, people's income is going down. 3, other costs are going up, competing with their costs and the utility bills and the receivables that they're expecting to get from you for the services that they provide, knowing that most people aren't going to be able to afford it. So what they're doing now is, instead of waiting to find themselves in a situation similar to JEA Jacksonville and having thousands, tens of thousands of delinquencies because of sky high utility bills, they're just going to pre-bill you for this budget plan to stay ahead of it so that they don't provide the service, they don't provide the gas and the utility that they can't recoup, only to have an account go bad, have an account go bad debt in collection. No, they're going to pre-charge you on this budget plan. And I'd be willing to bet that if you're not on the budget plan, they're going to put you on the budget plan because, you know, they can't financially allow for anyone and multiple anyones to not pay. Because, and for the folks that do pay, y'all need to pay close attention, because if there's a high rate of customers not paying and it causes a negative consequence for this utility provider, well, guess what? It's going to affect you too. So what's going to happen is the prices are going up, they're going to prepay, and what that does is now that $75 average is now going to be a $150 average, a $200 average, a $300 average. You're not even going to get that month where, oh, it's low usage, so I get a little bit of a break because I didn't use that much of the utility. I didn't use that much gas this month. Nope. It's going to be a set fee. Maybe when it's all said and done, you overpaid, they give you a little bit of money back, or they'll just hold it and put it in some sort of like an escrow account and cover you in the future. But you got to realize that these costs are going to continue to go up for at least 12 to 24 months. They're going to. So I wouldn't expect this to come down. I wouldn't expect this budget plan to be reduced. It's going to continuously become more and more expensive. And if your income is already on the borderline, if you're already barely getting by, if you're already living paycheck to paycheck, if you're already struggling and you haven't made the moves necessary to tighten up your budget, reduce wasteful spending, find ways to increase your income, develop side hustles, passive income streams, whatever it takes. If you haven't done that, then you are going to find yourself in a really, really tight situation very, very soon, where you're not going to have the ability to decide whether or not it's food or utilities, whether or not it's food or car payment, whether it's not. They're going to go ahead, they're going to auto draft, they're going to ECH, they're going to, or ACH, they're going to prepay. They're going to make it so that they get their money first. And then food becomes a luxury. Food becomes a luxury over a necessity. And this is just the beginning, you know? And this is what I'm talking about when I'm telling you guys that the food shortage becomes a problem. It will rear its ugly head for the fact that the food will be on the shelves. Granted, some of the shelves may be a little bit more bare than others, and we can talk about that in another video with some of these fake food shortage pictures and videos. We can talk about that. Some of these other channels putting this misinformation out there. Remember, folks, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. But the food shortage problem, the food shortage crisis, is going to be a financial problem, a financial crisis, an economic problem, an economic crisis. It's going to be a pay crisis. It's going to be I lost my job crisis. That food is there. It exists for those who can't afford it. And now you find yourself into a category, backed into a corner where you can't. So what are you going to do?